Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to another insightful discussion.
Hello. Walaikum salam. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Uh, I just wanna ask a simple question from my viewers. Have you ever
Hmm.
received criticism that stayed in your mind for entire day? Someone says
Hmm.
your work is not good enough or you could have done this much better. And suddenly, instead of thinking about the lesson behind those words, we start thinking about the person who said them. But there is an important question: what if criticism is not always an attack? What if sometimes it is a mirror? A mirror does not insult us, it simply shows us what we want, what we may not be able to see ourselves. Today, we are going to talk about how to deal with criticism and, more importantly, how to turn criticism into an opportunity for self improvement. And I am delighted to have with me once again Dr. Sara Khan, who will help us explore this very important topic. Dr. Sara, welcome to discussion. Uh, Let me begin with the simple question: why does criticism sometimes hurt us so deeply, even when the person may actually be trying to help us?
That's such a good opening question. Criticism hurts because it touches more than just the words. It threatens how we see ourselves. We all carry a picture of who we think we are. So when someone says, this isn't good, it can feel like they're saying you aren't good, even if they don't mean it that way. That mismatch between intention and impact is where the sting comes from.
You mean the important thing is to create a small gap between hearing criticism and reacting to it. That is very interesting, but Dr. Sara, there is an important distinction here. Not every negative comment is constructive criticism. Sometimes people criticize us simply to discourage us. So, how we distinguish between constructive criticism and destructive criticism?
Right. That's the key distinction here. Constructive criticism usually comes with some care or usefulness. It points to something specific and often includes a sense of here's how you could improve. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, feels vague, harsh, or personal. It's more about putting you down than lifting you up. A quick test is to ask, does this give me something I can work with? If yes, it might be worth listening to. If no, it may say more about the speaker than about you.
Hmm, very useful tips. Okay, Dr. Sarah, suppose someone criticizes us unexpectedly. Uh, what should we do in the first moment when emotions are high?
In that first surge, don't rush to answer. Pause. Take one slow breath,
Hmm.
maybe two. If you need a moment, say something simple like, I hear you. Let me think about that. That buys time and keeps the situation safe. Later, when emotions cool, you can decide whether it's worth engaging. Sometimes the wisest move is to let it pass.
I really like that idea. Don't immediately defend yourself, ask questions. For example, if a student says to a teacher, "Your lecture
Mhm.
was difficult to understand," the teacher could become defensive. But instead, the teacher could ask, "Which part was difficult? Was the explanation unclear, or was the topic itself difficult?" That turns criticism into data. Would you agree?
Exactly. That's a perfect example. By asking for specifics, you transform a vague negative into something useful. That shift turns a sting into information. And once it's information, you can decide if it's helpful and if so, what to do with it. That is emotional strength in practice.
Okay, Dr. Sarah, now let's discuss something uncomfortable. What if the criticism is actually true? Maybe we made a mistake, maybe our communication was weak, maybe our performance was below expectations. How should we respond?
That's brave to admit, first of all. So, when criticism is accurate, the healthiest move is to acknowledge it without beating yourself up. Something like, "You're right, that part wasn't clear. I'll work on it." That kind of grounded acceptance builds trust, both with others and yourself. Owning a mistake isn't weakness, it's maturity. And it often turns critics into allies.
Excellent. I mean, a mistake become valuable when it becomes a lesson. Okay, this reminds me of an important principle. Don't take feedback personally, take it
Mhm.
professionally. For example, if someone says your presentation needs improvement, we should immediately think they don't respect me. Instead, we can think, what can I improve in my presentation? Dr. Sarah, how can people develop this mindset?
That's such a practical angle. You build it by focusing on behavior, not identity. So instead of hearing, "You are bad at this," you train yourself to hear, "This part can be done better." That little shift stops feedback from feeling like an attack. Add a routine like asking one clarifying question, noting one actionable step, and then moving forward. Over time, it becomes less personal and more like maintenance on a machine. It's practice, not perfection. And every time you do it well, even a little, that muscle gets stronger.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, can criticism actually become a source of motivation?
Yes, absolutely. When you frame it as a signal, not a verdict, it becomes a cue for curiosity, not shame. Ask, "What can I learn here?" Little by little, feedback becomes fuel, sharpening your skills and keeping you moving forward. And sometimes that very thing you were critiqued for becomes the reason you improve the fastest. That's when criticism turns into a quiet ally.
Okay, moving to next question, Dr. Sarah. Could you give us viewers a simple method they can remember whenever they receive criticism?
Sure. Try the pause, clarify, choose method. First, pause. Take a beat. Don't react right away. Then clarify, ask if needed, "What exactly do you mean?" And then choose. Decide if it's useful. If yes, pick one small change to try. If no, let it go. It's quick, memorable, and keeps you in control. That way, criticism doesn't steer your day, you do.
Okay, as an educator and professional, we regularly receive feedback from colleagues, students, supervisors, and even the people we lead. What advice would you give to someone who is afraid of criticism and therefore avoid new challenges?
I'd say don't wait for fear to disappear. Instead, shrink the risk. Start with smaller challenges. Ask trusted peers for kinder, constructive feedback first, and celebrate small wins. Every time you face a little bit of criticism and handle it, your brain gets used to it. And soon, what once felt scary just feels like part of doing meaningful work. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving alongside it.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Sara Khan. Uh,
You're welcome.
Before our leaving, I would like to leave
Mhm.
our audience with this thought. Praise can make you feel good, but constructive criticism can make you better. The next time someone criticizes you, don't immediately ask, how dare they say that about me? Instead, pause and ask, is there something here that can help me grow? If the answer is yes, take the lesson. If the criticism is unfair or destructive, leave it behind. Because personal growth does not mean accepting every opinion about us, it means having the wisdom to identify the useful feedback, the courage to accept our weaknesses, and discipline to improve them. Remember, criticism does not define you. Your response to criticism develops you. So don't fear feedback, listen, learn, improve, and keep moving forward. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Sarah, for joining me in this meaningful discussion. And thank you everyone for watching. Until our next conversation, keep learning, keep growing, and keep becoming a better version of yourself. I'm Iramani. Stay positive, stay open to learning, and remember every piece of constructive feedback can be stepping stone towards a stronger you. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Iramanir. Wow, beautifully said. Allah